Welcome back behind the wheel, everybody. My name's Alex. I'm the Rideshare Chef. And let me start off by saying I apologize for the long gap between videos. Been having some technical issues, so I'm trying to get back on it now. Today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. For those of you who are driving tonight, just remember, bodily fluids count as a cleanup fee. Since I last saw you nice people, winter has come. My kids saw this morning. Their immediate response was snow! They love it. Winter is gone. Winter has come back. I've already seen one car spinning his tires. If you guys don't need to be out in this tonight, stay home. Big red capital letters. Stay home. Winter left again. Right now on Valentine's Day in Louisville, middle of February, it is a partly sunny 57 degrees outside. So, is winter gone for good? Who knows? I know what we have gotten is a lot of rain. And so, pray for the people along the riverfront here in Louisville. The river is expected to crest tomorrow. A lot of things are underwater. It certainly makes driving interesting in those areas. If you're not paying attention, you're not careful, the route the GPS takes you, so it's like, oh, I can't go that way because it's underwater. This is not a submarine. I'm not Aquaman. It doesn't work. But it's been an interesting few weeks. I'm looking forward to sharing it with y'all. So here we go. Karma finally came back. We've all been in that situation where we've been driving down the road and somebody else has done something completely obnoxious, and you're like, man, if the cops were here, they would pull you over. Well, it finally happened, folks. To me. Was driving a passenger to the airport down the expressway. Now, I drive the expressways regularly in Louisville. Every day. I'm a full-time driver. And so I know that they are out there. And I keep the speed limit, to less than 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. In Kentucky, that is a 0-point violation. They're not going to waste time on you for that. So I'm driving this guy to the airport. So I'm in the left lane and I'm cruising. I'm doing 64, 65. And I see the car on the side of the road. It's an unmarked car. And just as I see that car, some guy cuts me off. And he's waving at me, the salute. We all know what that is. I'm not going to put it on YouTube. And like, whatever. And just as he passes me, we pass the unmarked car. And my passenger's like, oh, that's the police. You better slow down. He's going to get him. I was like, I don't know. We both passed the cop at the same time. I was thinking, the cop may be coming after me. And sure enough, just as we pass him, the cop's in his car. His lights are on. And he comes in behind me. I'm like, oh, God, yeah, I think it's going to be us, guy. He's like, no, he's going for the other guy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I put on my turn signal. I get into the emergency lane. And just as I get in the emergency lane, the cop shoots past me. And he pulls over the guy who cut me off and was giving me the salute. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not just because I didn't get a ticket. I was fairly confident I wasn't going to get a ticket, but you never know. But yeah, the guy, he was speeding. He was doing reckless driving. And, he cut me off and all that other obnoxious stuff. Like, man, if there was a cop around, you'd get pulled over. Well, today he did. So I hope he learned his lesson. We waved at him as we drove by. Ha-ha. Look, you got pulled over. Ha-ha. Now, I'm sure most of you have already seen McDonald's, the touchscreen order taker things. The idea being that we could pay fewer people more money and just have people place their own orders. Well, apparently one of the local gas station convenience store chains is caught on to this idea. I stopped into this place to use the bathroom and get a snack. As I'm walking back to the restroom, I walk past the front counter and I see self-checkout things, just like you see at the grocery store. I'm like, well, isn't that a neat idea? So I go handle my business. I come out, decide I'm going to get a snack. I'll try one of these little modern miracles of technology. As I walk up to it, the girl behind the counter, who's supposed to be waiting on people not using the self-checkout, decides to give me a full explanation of how the thing works. And she pushes all the buttons, and she shows me the icons, and she does pretty much everything except run my credit card through the thing. And I'm like, isn't the whole point of this so you could stand over there on your phone and be moody and not have to deal with me? But, you know, it's a self-checkout, lady. You just rang up my whole order. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. I'm sure they're paying her good money to do that, but kind of defeats the purpose of having a self-checkout if you're going to do it for me. I was telling my wife this story. She's like, she's a sweetheart. I love her. Preface this. I was telling my wife this story, and she's like, well, you know why they did that, honey. I was like, no, please explain that to me. She's like, because you look old and you don't know how to use the technology. And that was when she disappeared, officer. My wife has got jokes. Not that old. I know how to use my smartphone. I'm making these videos. Can't really see it. But I do have some gray hair. I can see it in the mirror every morning. A couple of weeks ago, I told you all I used to be a restaurant chef, and in the review video, talk about this Italian restaurant I used to work at. So a couple of weeks ago, I was at a different Italian restaurant making a pickup. Happened to be the restaurant owned by the sons of the chef of the restaurant I used to work at. And I picked up my old boss's wife and daughter-in-law, who I knew. And they recognized me, and I recognized them. We had a nice, pleasant ride back to their house. It was fun. It just shows you, that in this line of work, you pick up anybody. Funny thing happened to me the other day. Part of these technical issues involved us buying a new computer. My wife and I picked her up from work, and we went to the Apple store, bought a nice new iMac. On the way home, we're chit-chatting, and I'm not thinking about what's going on around me. Next thing I know, I see red and blue lights in my rearview mirror. I'm like, oh crap, I wasn't paying attention. Did I run that light? Was it red? Was it green? I don't know. So I pull over. I pull my driver's license out, roll down the window. Officer walks up. I'm like, what can I do for you, officer? He's like, your headlights are off? And I drive a Dodge Grand Caravan, and so the display stays lit. So I pulled out of the parking lot at the mall and didn't even realize that my headlights weren't on until I got, 3/4 of the way home. No, sir, I did not realize my lights were off. Thank you very much. Like, is there anything else? He's like, nope, have a nice night. I'm like, oh, cool. I roll up the window, turn the headlights on. My wife looks at me, she's like, well, that went smoothly. I looked at her and I said, yeah, it went a lot more smoothly than the last time I got pulled over for not having my headlights on. She's like, what happened last time? I said, I went to jail. She's like, when did this happen? About 19 years ago, before we met. I was a little bit drunk. Okay, I was a lot drunk. Part of the reason why I drive for Uber and Lyft now, and why I'm such a big advocate for, calling for rideshare, calling for cabs. If you have to call for something, call for cab, call rideshare, call somebody. Don't drive drunk, because I've done that. And I'm stupid. I admit that, because I was a moron. But yeah, I was drunk. I got behind the wheel, forgot to turn my headlights on, got pulled over, and went to jail. So this time did not go to jail because this time I was not drunk. And that hasn't happened since, by the way. Meanwhile, back at the Batcave. So I hope you all enjoyed my adventures over the last few weeks. You'll like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're going out tonight, don't forget to tip your servers. If you're going out tonight, don't forget to tip your drivers. Have a good Valentine's Day, everybody.